2nd Congressional District from the St. Louis area. We also, Congressman Weber, sadly are in the top 20 in the nation for sex trafficking, and it's a deplorable statistic. And I thank the chairman and committee members. I thank you all for convening this hearing today and allowing me to discuss the upcoming Super Bowl and the efforts to combat the surge in sex trafficking that often results from prominent sporting events and conventions such as these. I applaud the committee's effort to increase awareness of this very important issue, especially Chairman Smith's ongoing leadership and dedication to fighting this terrible crime and the effects of the most vulnerable members of our society. As a former United States ambassador, I was exposed firsthand to the horrors of human trafficking on an international level. I witnessed and reported on the devastating consequences of human trafficking where innocent children were dragged into the dark abyss of sex slavery. I worked in close coordination with law enforcement, foreign governments, our U.S. State Department, and the private sector to stop this heinous exploitation from happening. But never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that human trafficking was so rampant in the United States of America, in our neighborhoods, in our school districts, in our faith communities. While some of my colleagues might think that this could never happen in their own district, there are young women being forced into prostitution right now in virtually every district across this nation. It is hiding in plain sight. According to the United Nations, human trafficking generates $9.5 billion in revenue yearly in the United States. The Department of Justice has estimated that approximately 300,000 children are currently at risk of being prostituted in the United States alone. Shockingly, the average age of entry into prostitution for a child victim in the U.S. is 13 to 14 years old. As a mother and an aunt of teenage daughters, I am especially concerned that the victims be given a voice. They are not nameless, faceless children. They are our daughters, our granddaughters, our nieces, and our neighbors. They are the vulnerable youth of our society, the ones who should be protected the most, not exploited for money and greed. As legislators, we have an obligation to come together and do something because we can, because we should, and because we must. Partnership between the public and private sectors is a key to combating human trafficking at major events like the Super Bowl. That's why I'm happy to see representatives from private industry here today, many times frontline employees of the transportation industry, and I certainly recognize Delta Airlines is here and have been a wonderful partner in this regard, and the hospitality industries are the ones best suited to identify trafficking victims and their predators. In addition to sporting events like the Super Bowl, conferences and conventions can also be magnets of sex trafficking. The conference and hospitality industry, along with corporate partners, have a vital role to play in combating sexual exploitation. I'd like to highlight for just a minute the work of the St. Louis company that is a leader in this area, Nick's Conference and Meeting Management. It's been especially active through better awareness and educating the industry on the signs of human trafficking. I applaud their efforts to host the 2014 Ignite Conference in St. Louis on March 2nd through the 4th. It's dedicated to engaging, educating, and empowering a diverse group of supporters and stakeholders to combating sex trafficking. Increased awareness and training will lead to more victims being identified, which is a critical step in breaking the cycle of exploitation and victimization. But our work does not end there. Congress has the opportunity to take a stand to protect our children from the devastating consequences of sex trafficking. That's why I'm supporting several pieces of bipartisan legislation that would give law enforcement, prosecutors, and social services the necessary tools and resources to combat human trafficking and boost support for the victims. I applaud Representatives Poe and Paulson, Chairman Smith, and others, Wahlberg, Carter, Royce, Reichert, Bass, and many, many others for their legislative efforts to fight the scourge of human trafficking. I am committed to making this a legislative priority in 2014. I'd like to briefly mention another issue that demands legislative action. Over the last 10 or so years, prostitution has migrated to an online marketplace. Online classified services such as Backpage.com have become the vehicle for advertising the victims of the child sex trade to the world. Online customers choose websites like Backpage and other advertisers to order an underage girl to their hotel room as easily as if they were ordering a delivery pizza. Now just think about that for a second. Close your eyes and picture your daughter, your niece, or any innocent young girl that you care about being sold for exploitation to a complete stranger. These publicly released pictures that are playing on the television right now could be that innocent angel that you just pictured. It is our moral obligation and our legislative duty to ensure that advertisements of child sex trafficking like Backpage and others are not allowed to operate and claim yet another victim. I end my testimony, Mr. Chairman, today with the highest praise for your efforts and the committee and those here that are here to testify today. I thank you. I thank you, Ambassador. I enjoyed having our conversation and the work that you do at the State Department on an international level. Ms. Odom, I look forward to working with you and your office and receiving the resources and tools and support to get the word out. The efforts of public officials to raise awareness of human trafficking are critical to combating this reprehensible crime. It is only through increased awareness, resources, and legislative action that we will one day realize a society that protects its most vulnerable victims from sexual exploitation and enslavement. I thank you.
Ambassador Wagner, thank you so much.